We recently went on a Norwegian cruise, and as much as we did have a good time, I have to be honest, there were some things that we really didn't like. Hi there, I'm Ilana from the website lifewhilecruise.com. Welcome back to my channel. We recently went on a cruise on the Norwegian Joy, and I have to be honest, as much as we were excited to get back on Norwegian, it had been a few years since we sailed with them prior to the pandemic. Well, there were some things that we really did like, and there were other things that we really, hate is a strong word, but that we didn't like that much, or even some things that we kind of did think were annoying. Now, in this video, I'm going to share with you sort of a review of sorts, the things that we didn't like, the things that we loved, and hopefully that will be helpful for you as you plan your cruise vacation. So the first thing that we hated or that we didn't like on our Norwegian cruise was the beverage package. Now, I should explain. We did actually like the beverage package in terms of the alcohol, the soda, everything that was included. We did have the free at sea premium beverage package. We did like it. What we didn't like is what was not included in our beverage package. So what's not included in the beverage package on Norwegian is the specialty coffee. Now, in comparison to other cruise lines that we've sailed on, well, this is something that we really missed because we do like to have our kind of good coffee on a cruise, and water bottles were not included either. So in this case, what we did do is we bought a Starbucks package. This really added up. It was like an upgrade on our cruise, and we did find that this was just one example of some of the extras that we found ourselves paying for on our Norwegian cruise, and this was definitely something that I didn't like. Something else that I didn't like that much on our Norwegian cruise were the pool areas. And in particular, what I'm talking about is the layout of the pools themselves, or even the hot tubs. What we found on our cruise ship is that the pool area just didn't feel typical of a lot of other cruise ships where the pools might be in the middle of the pool deck. Instead, there was one pool at the extreme left, and then as you moved a little bit further on the pool deck, you had a pool to the right, which was the children's pool and the splash area. Now, the good thing about this pool layout is there really were a lot of deck chairs, so I think that that was good, and there was a lot of open space. So in comparison to other cruise ships that we've been on from Norwegian, so the Getaway, for instance, and the Breakaway in the past that had crowded pool areas, this I think was an improvement. Now, in addition to the main pool area, you did have Spice H2O, which was the adult only area, and you do have this large hot tub in that area that probably fits about 30 people. So while this is good, I did find that there's no like relaxing pool area for adults, like a solarium style pool, and this is definitely something that we missed. The dinners in the main dining room. Now, this might surprise you a little bit when you hear some of my positive comments that I'm going to share a little bit later on in this video, but the dinners in the main dining room, well, basically the food just was really kind of mediocre. The food was definitely edible, but a lot of the time, even if the menu seemed kind of appealing, the taste wasn't necessarily there. And in particular, the meat, like every time there was any steak, any prime rib, every time it just came and it was very tough. It was like the quality of the meat was very low. There was just something, if you like food on a cruise as we do, this was something that honestly was disappointing. All of the activities that cost extra. Now, I always think of cruising as a really good value, and definitely a Norwegian cruise is still a good value, and you have a choice not to do these extra activities. So I guess that is a choice to be able to make, but I really just don't like that there are so many things that do cost extra. And in particular, I thought about the families that go on with teenagers or kids, and it's kind of hard to say no to your kids when you're on vacation. You don't always want to, and this could really add up to a lot. So some of the things that did cost extra was there was a racetrack. It's $15 per race. I don't think that's too bad because you could do 1 or 2 races and kind of be done with it. If you want to do the entire week package, that was $199. But there's also virtual reality games, and so for this, it was called Galaxy Pavilion. This is another $199 if you do this for the week. And I just thought about if you do have like 2 kids and you take all of these extras, it could add up to about $400 per child, and that really just adds up to a lot of money. Now, I know these are things that were specifically on our cruise ship. However, when I did speak with my niece who sailed on Norwegian this summer, she had said that to use the pool table, there was a charge for that. When I've watched some of the videos about the Norwegian Prima, the new ship that is now out, there were some extra charges for darts and for mini golf. So I just definitely don't love the idea that for these activities that there are these extra charges. Now this one is probably going to seem petty unless you're like me and you like a little bit of retail therapy when you're on a cruise, but the shopping on the cruise was kind of meh. Whether it was the duty-free liquor store, whether it was the souvenirs, whether it was the jewelry, they just really didn't seem like there was much to buy or any good deals. Now, something that did surprise us and was probably a little bit disappointing was the entertainment at night in terms of the larger production shows. Now, on our cruise, we were supposed to have Footloose, and we did have another show called Elements. Well, Footloose was canceled due to, I think, medical reasons or something like that, and things do happen, so we understand, and I guess that is just the times that we are in. But that was really disappointing that we did lose that big show and nothing really did replace it. So we had Elements. That is a really excellent show. That's great. We had a couple of comedians during our cruise, but they really never replaced those big shows. And we were on a 10-day cruise, so the entertainment at night, well, it was a little bit disappointing, especially for a Norwegian cruise, because we had had such good experiences in the past. Now, I have one more negative point to share, and then I'm moving on to some positive things that I know are going to be very helpful. So the last thing that we kind of didn't like about our cruise was, well, it probably won't surprise you, it was something that had an extra cost, and it was the Wi-Fi on the cruise. Now, I know not everybody needs Wi-Fi on a cruise or wants Wi-Fi on a cruise. However, we did have the premium Wi-Fi. I needed to be able to work on our cruise. And honestly, it was very, very pricey, and like a lot of cruises, but it was slow, it was unreliable, and this was definitely something that I wish was a little bit better on the cruise. Okay, switching gears to all of the things that we really liked about our Norwegian cruise. Firstly, there is Free at Sea. I think that this is an amazing promotion that you can get when you book a Norwegian cruise, and really it is a very good value. So when you book Free at Sea, you can get a beverage package, you could get a dining package, so that's specialty dining, shore excursion discounts, you can get discounts on third and fourth passengers. All of this, I think, makes a Norwegian cruise very appealing. We absolutely loved Free at Sea. We did have specialty dining at 2 restaurants, and we did have the beverage package. We definitely did like having this. Now, the next thing that we really liked on our Norwegian cruise was the really good casual food. There were so many options, and being honest, I was very, very impressed. I was impressed with the buffet. Normally, I don't like the buffet that much on a cruise, and I thought the buffet was excellent on our Norwegian cruise. There were a variety of options, healthy options, decadent options, food stations, all really beautifully presented. It was really something very nice. At the same time, you also had the local, so that's that pub style food that you could order. That was available. I'm not sure if it's 24 hours, but it was certainly available until late into the night, even into the early hours of the morning. And if you're somebody who kind of likes to watch a game at sort of a sports bar type of atmosphere, you could actually order that pub style food, wings, nachos, that kind of thing. You could order all of that food while still watching a game and feeling very casual. Now, I have a little bit of a tip for you. Try and eat breakfast in one of the dining rooms. Now, we ate in Taste or Savor, the alternative dining rooms that are included on the Norwegian Joy. And the breakfast, it was so good, and the presentation was so good. It honestly was the nicest of any of the cruises that we've been on. Now, the next thing that we absolutely loved and we were honestly very impressed by was the fact that the cruise ship was immaculately clean. All of the public areas, but even something that we noticed was as we were going onto the elevators, there was almost always somebody there that was sort of cleaning the numbers and the buttons, and they were holding the elevator. The ship was sparkling all the time. Now, something else that really stood out for us was the crew. Now, I feel like I do say this probably in most cruise reviews or videos that I do about cruising. I say the crew's amazing, and they always are. However, in particular for this ship, not only were they helpful and they were friendly, they were great, but they were actually some of the happiest crew that we've ever seen. They would be singing, they would be laughing with each other, laughing with the passengers. It was really such a pleasure. So whether it was the waiters in Taste and Savor, that's where we ate a lot, whether it was the buffet, whether it was the bartenders, the staff, honestly, the people who really served you, they were amazing. Now, please let me know if you've ever cruised with Norwegian, if this is something that you noticed as well. They just seem like the absolute happiest, friendliest crew. Now, something else that we loved was Norwegian's freestyle dress code. So basically, Norwegian does do things a little bit differently. They don't have any official formal night, and they are generally more relaxed as a cruise line. Well, we really did kind of like being able to eat when we wanted to eat. We liked being able to dress the way we felt. So if I wanted to wear jeans and a sweater one night, I could do that. And if I wanted to wear a dress another night, I could do that as well. And I kind of liked that other people had the freedom as well. And to be honest, I really did find that people looked great no matter what they were wearing. Now, I'd love to know from you if you like the idea of a more freestyle or a relaxed dress code. Please let me know down in the comments below. Now, something else that was great on our Norwegian cruise was the fact that there was always something happening in terms of the entertainment, both during the day and the evening. Now, in particular, there was a lot of live music. I really liked that in the atrium. They were fabulous. There were also a lot of different sort of game shows and trivia. Even though I didn't participate in them, they are definitely fun to watch, and other people were really enjoying them a lot. Now, something else that we really liked, and I think is such a positive for this Norwegian cruise ship, is despite the fact that this is a really large cruise ship, there were so many different public areas, so many venues that you could go and you could have a different atmosphere. So it wasn't all hustle and bustle all the time. So whether you wanted to go into like the observation lounge, which was quiet and beautiful and a place to just look at the scenery or to read or to sit quietly with other people, that was an absolutely gorgeous area on the cruise ship. Or if you like to go on the waterfront area, the waterfront is an outdoor area with bars and restaurants that you can sit outside, or even just walking around this deck. Absolutely beautiful. Or if you wanted to go to a whiskey bar, or if you preferred to go to Sugarcane, the mojito bar with a live band, or to the Cavern Club with the Beatles music, there was always something sort of different to do, different areas that you could have a different atmosphere and feeling all on one cruise ship. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention the water slides. If you are somebody who loves water slides, or your kids love water slides, they do have really cool water slides. There's no extra charge for this, so this is something good. There is that drop water slide, which I am not brave enough to go on, but my son did go on that. But there's also another water slide. There's one water slide with sort of an inner tube style water slide that really is very tame. I did go on with my son. Definitely something that if I can do it, you could do it. So that is something fun on a Norwegian cruise. Now, I hope that this video was helpful. Please let me know if you've ever cruised with Norwegian before, or if you're planning a cruise with Norwegian. Please let me know down in the comments below. And as well, if you'd like to see a video all about Free at Sea, please let me know that as well, any of the questions that you may have. Now, I'm going to leave a video right after this one all about what I ended up spending on in extras on my Norwegian cruise. It added up to well over $4,000. So it will give you an idea about what's worth it and maybe what is not worth it. Now, if you did enjoy this video, please do give it a big thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. And please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Bye for now, and happy cruising.